cup and saucer. A really elegant cup and saucer. It's a porcelain one and it's not cheap, but there's something wonderful about drinking it out of a nicely designed cup and saucer.
That was the most English response I could ever imagine.
It's interesting, the age I've got to now, and I've been working in my business for over 30 years. One of the greatest inspirations is actually employing younger people, younger women. They bring so much more, they bring an insight to your life and work that refreshes it. You see it from their eyes, and that really is an interesting perspective now. Talk, but more importantly, listen and absorb what you're hearing. Often see people far too quickly wanting to interject, particularly from clients. Just let clients talk. They've got so much information to impart and so much inspiration they can give you. They are the clues to actually a way of getting into a project. It's an interesting one, this one, but I was working with a client and the managing director was having an internal problem with staff and getting sucked into this political infighting amongst his staff. And he said to me, just remember who signs your checks. Being self-employed, that was a critical bit of advice. Listening, learning, reading, observing, meeting human needs, human requirements. What is a great designer? There are great designs, but what is a great designer? I often think we create celebrity, great actors, great designers. I'm not sure that's the right way life is about. It's actually creating great products that meet human needs. Follow your intuition. I wanted to be a commercial designer, whatever a commercial designer was in those days. It was just an intuitive dream, and I didn't know how to do it, and I had very few people that could direct me. Unlike today, it's so easy now. We've got all this information. I had no direction, but I had an intuition. I've followed that ever since, and I think that's the important thing. If you've got a desire and an intuition, just follow that dream. It's always exciting having had an idea and then seeing that idea mature into a product that gets to launch, and then, for me, actually being used, being bought because people desire it. That really is exciting when it actually gets out into the marketplace and is used as you intended. Isolation, mental health. I've never heard of so much mental health since the pandemic and people being isolated. And I actually think the after effects are we've still got this sense of isolation. We've lost this art and skill of mingling with people, talking to people, engaging with people. We've lost that confidence again, and I think that is a shame. I've gone through periods of my career where there's been very little change, and then there's something come along that has actually created significant change. Technology was one of the things, and technology changed rapidly. So that gave us an opportunity to reevaluate, redesign, rethink. The banking crisis of 2008, another big changing point, and the pandemic was another one. And those give designers really interesting opportunities to reevaluate where we are, what is required to meet these changes that have happened in society, in culture, and all those sort of areas. Thank God for change. Oh, come on, I come from a coffee-going country, Kenya. You know, we'd go up and pick coffee beans and dry them and produce them. It's interesting, my father is an architect. His first job in Africa was for a coffee farmer. This is a very vague memory, but we went to see the client who was the coffee farmer. He had created a coffee farm on virgin territory. He'd planted the coffee plants himself and developed this coffee farm. He was living in a mud hut, and he had 3 beautiful young daughters living in a mud hut, but he had got to the stage where he could afford to build a stone house. And he built that stone house And every Christmas he'd arrive on our doorstep with a sack of coffee beans. How could you not like coffee?